Hello, my name is Rosella and today I'm going to do chapter 2 in this book. If you haven't done it yet, click on the red button there and subscribe to my channel. You can find me on Facebook, Theory Virtuoso, and Instagram, Theory Virtuoso. You can also visit my website, theoryvirtuoso.com, where you can see all the videos that I publish. There are music theory videos, musical quizzes, sample exam papers from the new online format from 2020, tutorials on discovering music theory, all grades, and piano tutorials to improve your piano performance too. Thank you for watching. Bye! This second chapter, relating to rhythm, talks about a few things, and in particular, new time signatures. In the first exercise, we are asked to compare two versions of the same melody, one in 4/4 and the other one in 4/8, which means that the same melody has been rewritten half the value. Now, let's talk about the meaning of this. First of all, 4/4 means 4 movements, so 4 counts, of 1/4 each. And 1/4 is the fraction that describes the length of a crotchet. So if you like maths and you do 1/4 times 4 equals 4/4. Therefore it says if you convert 1/4 with the name crotchet, which is the value, one of the values in music, it means 4 crotchets. Similarly, 4/8 relates to 4 movements, so 4 counts, but the value of each count is 1/8, and 1/8 is a quaver. So it means 4 quavers. Okay, so the conductor would do 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. But in fact, each count in 4/4 is a crotchet, in 4/8 is a quaver, and I hope that this is clear. Of course, leave me a comment if I need to be more specific on this. In the case of this exercise, we would need to tick or cross depending on whether the second development has been done correctly or not, so half the value or twice the value. In this case, what we need to do is to convert each value into the next one in the list. So the list is semibreve, minim, crotchet, quaver, semiquaver, demisemiquaver, hemidemi-semiquaver. So I'll say this one more time, including the breve that we've done in chapter 1. Breve, semi-breve, and this means half of the breve, okay? Breve, semi-breve. Minim, semi-minim, because the crotchet is in fact a semi-minim, but it doesn't exist in English, I'm afraid. I don't know why. I always regret that he has this name, because it breaks the pattern, which will be very useful for the students. Quaver, so we said minim, semi-minim, crotchet. Quaver, semi-quaver, demi-semi-quaver, or quaver, which means half of half, hemi-demi-semi-quaver, which means half of a half of a half of a quaver. That's it. This is why I say that this crotchet name breaks the pattern and makes everything very much more difficult for the students to remember. But breve, semi-breve, minim, semi-minim, quaver or crotchet, quaver, semi-quaver, demi-semi-quaver, hemi-demi-semi-quaver. Okay, now one by one we need to convert the values. A crotchet becomes a dotted crotchet becomes a quaver becomes a semi-quaver, 2 quavers become 2 semi-quavers, 1 crotchet becomes a quaver. So far so good. 1 minim becomes a crotchet, 1 quaver becomes a semi-quaver, 2 semi-quavers become 2 demi-semiquavers, and one quaver becomes one semiquaver, and one quaver becomes one semiquaver. So that is correct. In terms of grouping, I'll tell you this now because we will need it later on in this chapter. In terms of grouping, we have two things here. 1, 2. Okay, 1 and 2. 1 and 2. And these are the two halves of the bar. Because when we have 4 movements, we need to divide them in 2 groups of 2. Be them quavers, semiquavers, minims, crotchets. Okay? Next one. A minim would be a crotchet, dotted quaver. A quaver would be a semiquaver. A quaver would be a semiquaver. What's going on here? They have changed the rhythm as well. So this is incorrect. I don't even need to tell you why it is incorrect. But definitely a quaver would need to become a semiquaver. I'll do it here actually. Semiquaver plus a semiquaver rest. A triplet of quavers will become a triplet of semiquavers. And this is correct. Okay, this will be the correct version of this bar in 4/8. The next one, 2 quavers, 2 semiquavers become 2 quavers. 1 quaver is 1 crotchet, 1 crotchet. A triplet of semiquaver would be a triplet of quavers, and a dotted crotchet should become a dotted minim, so this is incorrect. This should become a dotted minim, and the quaver rest would become a minim rest, as a crotchet rest, because I didn't mention that in this case we needed to do the other way around, so we need to go up in the scale of the values. Here we go down again, no, here we go up again. A semiquaver becomes a quaver, 2 demi-semiquavers become 2 semiquavers, 1 quaver would become 1 crotchet. We talk about the grouping later on. 1 semiquaver would become a quaver, 2 demi-semiquavers, 2 semiquavers, 1 quaver, 1 crotchet. A double dotted quaver would become a double dotted crotchet, and a demi-semiquaver would become a semiquaver. A crotchet becomes a minim. This is all correct. Now, the grouping must be different because, of course, we can't group this crotchet with this other crotchet, because if we group it, it becomes a quaver. So, but we see the 2 halves clearly indicated, as well as here, as well as here, as well as here. So, correct. And with this, we have finished exercise 1. Let's move on to exercise 2. This is about 2 new compound time signatures, 6/4 and 9/4. Now, the difference with 3/4 or 6/8 or 9/8 is really small, and it's the value of the count. That's all. In 6/8 we have 6 quavers in a bar grouped in 3, so 2 groups of 3 quavers. Similarly, in 6/4 we have 2 groups of 3 crotchets. In 9/4 we have 3 groups of crotchets, because we have 9 times 1/4, and the grouping is as a compound time, so 1 to 3, 1 to 3. So the subdivisions of each movement of the conductor, an imaginary conductor, would be 1 and 2 and if it's 6/8 or 6/4. 1 and 2 and 3 and would be 9/8 or 9/4. So it's a compound time. In compound time, we have 3 subdivisions. So 1 and. In simple times, we have 1 and 2 subdivisions. Okay? The change is very little in this case. It's just about the values, but the counting is the same. So, same as before, we need to tick or cross whether the rewriting has been done correctly or not. 3 quavers become 3 crotchets, 1 crotchet. is 1 minim, 2 semiquavers, 2 quavers. 1 crotchet, 1 minim. 1 quaver becomes 1 crotchet. 1 dotted crotchet would become a dotted minim. So this is the first mistake here. Do we need to check further? No, this is incorrect. Here is the same, but we need to count 3 times 1, 2, 3. So 1 dotted crotchet becomes 1 dotted minim. A crotchet becomes a minim. A quaver becomes a crotchet. Quaver, crotchet. 2 semiquavers become 2 quavers. 1 quaver becomes 1 crotchet. 1 crotchet becomes 1 minim. Quaver, crotchet, dotted minim, dotted semibreve, correct. 2 quavers, 2 semiquavers become 2 quavers. 2 quavers become 2 crotchets. 1 dotted crotchet becomes 1 dotted minim. 1 dotted crotchet rest becomes 1 dotted minim rest. So this is correct. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Next one. From 9/4 to 9/8, so we need to go down in the scale. 1 crotchet becomes 1 quaver. Same. 2 quavers would become 2 semiquavers. 1 dotted minim would become 1 dotted crotchet, 1 minim, 1 crotchet, 1 crotchet, 1 quaver, and then 1 crotchet, 1 quaver, crotchet, quaver. 1 dotted quaver is a dotted semiquaver. This is incorrect. They are the same, so incorrect. This would be this, and it's so untidy. Ugh. Semiquavers, and then this is a demi-semiquaver. And then there is a dot missing here. So incorrect. From 6/4 to 6/8. So we go down again. Minim crotchet, 2 quavers equals 2 semiquavers. 1 crotchet, 1 quaver. 1 crotchet, 1 quaver, 2 quavers, 2 semiquavers. Perfect. A double dotted crotchet will become a double dotted quaver. Where is it here? There isn't. Then here there should be a semiquaver would become a demi-semiquaver. And then a crotchet. So this is already incorrect. A crotchet becomes a quaver, crotchet becomes a quaver, and a minim becomes a crotchet. And then this is correct. So there is one mistake here. So it's a cross also for this one. So I'm afraid there is a shortcut if you think of the meaning of the time signatures. So yes, if you think musically as ever, but then you would need to check note by note. And welcome to the world of the teachers. Shall we turn the page together? Let's do it. Another page dedicated to other time signatures. This time is 9/6/16th, 9/16th and 12/16th. The principle is the same. There are 6, 9 or 12 semiquavers grouped in 3 because they are all compound times. So 6 semiquavers, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 9 semiquavers in a bar, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 12 semiquavers in a bar, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So quadruple time. And we need to state where we need to write the upper number. So basically we need to answer the questions. How many semiquavers there are in a bar? How many crotchets there are in a bar? How many crotchets? How many semiquavers? And then we need to count the beats. If it's a compound time, every 3 counts. 1 and 2 and. So every time I say a new number is a beat. 1 and 2 and 3 and. But the beats are every time we change the number. In this case, we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it's 6/16th. We have 6 semiquavers in a bar. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 9. Let's double check. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 crotchets, yeah? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So the beats, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. 3 times 3 crotchets, so 9/4. Here, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. So that's 6/4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So let's do the beating. 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, and 2, and 1, and 2, and. Sorted. The last one, we need to count the semiquavers. Here we have 3, then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's 9. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So the beats are 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and this is twice, and then 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. Sorted. Easy if you think musically. If you complicate it with this is equivalent to 2 crotchets plus 1 crotchet, and then you do the compound time, it doesn't really make you feel that you are achieving something. It's too laborious and you miss the flowing, which is important in music. So follow my advice, think musically and flow musically. That will help you sight reading too, which is also a very important and essential part of musicianship. Exercise 4. There is a challenge at the beginning of the page, and I challenge you, send me yours and I will double check if what you have done is correct. Alternatively, you can tell me that you want my version of this challenge and I can do it on Instagram. Make sure that you follow me on Instagram too. Exercise 4 asks us to add 1 number to complete the sentences, and then here we need to do some maths, but again let's do musical maths, not pure maths, okay? This makes us be quick. I promise that with these tutorials I aim to make you do things quicker and more effectively. In 6/16 there are X number of semiquavers in a bar. 6. This is the meaning of the time signature. This 6/16 means that in every bar we have 6 semiquavers. In 4/8 there are a certain number of quaver beats in a bar, and in this case they are 4 quavers. 1/8. In 4/2 there are 4 minim beats in a bar. 1/2 is 1 minim because, and this we need maths here. The fraction that describes the value of the minim, of a minim, is 2/4, but if you simplify it, is 1/2. So every time you see the half, it relates to minims. So 4 minim beats in a bar, or 8 crotchets because it's double. In 6/4 there are 2 minim beats in a bar. This is because it's a compound time. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 crotchets, okay, 1/4, and each group is a dotted minim. So we have 2 groups of dotted minims in a bar. In 9/8 a duplet, now we did say that the subdivisions in compound times are 3. So 2 items don't match. To make it match, we need a duplet sign, which means, and I say that again, if you want, go back to chapter 1 and then listen to what I say in the exercise relating to triplets and duplets in compounded simple time. 2 here, it is like having 2 tickets for a fun fair, which are enough for 3 people. So we have 2, buy 2, get 3 basically. They have a bigger value than they would otherwise. In 9/8, these 2 quavers with a duplet are equal to 3 quavers because it's 3 of the same kind. Remember, 2 tickets for 3 people. And in 2 halves, this is equivalent to 1 minim because they are 3 in simple time. A triplet is in the space of 2. So this is equal to 2 crotchets, which is 1 minim, Okay? In 9/16, 3 semiquavers is equal to 1 dotted quaver because 2 semiquavers are equal to 1 quaver. And that 1 quaver plus 1 semiquavers equals 1 quaver with a dot, because the dot is its half. So it's a dotted quaver, 1 dotted quaver. Done. Exercise 5. Let me know if it was all clear here. I did go a little bit fast, I feel. Let me know if so, and I will add a comment in which I go through step by step again. But re-listen to the explanations here. They are very concise, but it's all in there. And if there is anything that you want me to explain better or again, please leave me a comment. I can make an Instagram video or a short YouTube video. I can do some pills of music theory. Although I aim to publish some music theory videos about all these topics. So anyway, exercise 5. Here we need to complete the sentences with what is needed. In 4/8 is an example of something quadruple time. I think it's simple. Simple because it's not compound. Simple quadruple time. 9/16 is an example of compound triple. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Triple time. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Triple time. 6/4 is an example of compound duple time. 1 and 2 and. Duple. 6/16, so 6 semiquavers in a bar grouped in 3, so 2 groups of 3, I've said it already, is an example of compound duple time. So as I said before, 6/4 is a compound duple time. 6/16 is a compound duple time. This is because of 6, because 6 is necessarily grouped in 3, like a compound. So it is a compound time. So it will always be duple because we change number after the and. Okay, 1 and 2 and that's it. This is why it's duple because I count 2. Here is triple because I count to 3. And every and I change the number. 1 and 2 and 3 and. And then 1 again. Okay, so triple. 3/2 is an example of simple triple time. Of course, 3 is the number. 3 minims, okay? 1/2 is a minim. So 3 minims in a bar. 1, 2, 3. Triple, duple or quadruple tell us to what number we need to count to. Do we stop at 2, at 3, or at 4? If you translate the terminology with the meaning, I think it is easier to understand. And if you want to do a very thorough but effective job, the next time you open the score of one of the pieces that you're learning, try to see if when you play you feel the counting and the time signature. Answer these questions. What is the time signature? How much should we count to in each bar? What is the value of each count? And do I feel it when I play? Let me know how it goes. Exercise 6. In this exercise, we need to circle the correct time signature for the melodies. Here again, we need to see what number we count to and if it's a simple or compound time. Here it looks like a simple time. In the options that we have, it's 6/8, so 6 quavers. That can't be. We have 4 quavers. This is 4/8, 4 quavers. It could be. And 4 crotchets. And this is not the case. So the answer here is 4/8, which means 4 quavers. Here they are. 1, 2, 3, 4. How about this beginning and this ending incomplete? Both. This can happen only in the first bar of any piece when there is an anacrusic start, and it is usually compensated with an incomplete ending of the same value. So here what is missing is 2 quavers, and 2 quavers are also missing here. However, sometimes we don't find this. Let's go on. This is an incomplete bar, and I wouldn't start with the first one. We have certainly a compound time, and what rings a bell is the fact that this dotted crotchet is not balanced with a quaver, the missing half of this dot. So it is definitely a compound time. And look at here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So without looking at the options, I can tell you that this is 9/8 is the right answer. Let's see the options. Without looking at here, I can already tell the answer is 9/16, so 9 semiquavers, because we have 1, 2, 3 semiquavers, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's see, 3/8 can't be because there are 3 dotted quavers here, so it can't be. 6/16 can't be because of this bar, and this bar. There are 9 semiquavers, and the answer is 9 semiquavers in a bar. Certainly, this is another compound time, and we don't have an anacrusic start here. It's in crotchets. 1, 2, 3 crotchets. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this is 9/4. Now, why is it not a simple time? Because it's an odd number of crotchets. Also, this is not grouped correctly. 1 and 2 and. So this is not possible. So 9/4, that's the answer. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yes. 9/8 can't be because there's not even a quaver here. And 6/4 is not enough because we have 9 crotchets, not 6. Another compound time for me because we have this quaver paired up with a semiquaver, which means that the minimum value here is the semiquaver. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The answer is 12/16. And in fact, if we see the options, there is 6/8, it can't be. They're not grouped correctly. So 3/4 can't be for the same reason as a compound. The grouping is of a compound time. So 12/16. Is this a compound time? I don't think so. Look at here. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. I think that is a simple triple time, but it's in minims, so it's 3 halves, and this is it. It can be 6/4 because the difference between 6/4 and 3/2 is that this is a simple time and this is a compound time. So here, the number of crotchets is the same, but here the counting is done with the minims. So there are 3 minims here. Here we have 6 crotchets grouped in 3. So there are 3 minims overall, but they are not grouped in this way. So it is impossible to reduce this within 3 minims. It has to be 3 crotchets plus 3 crotchets. 1 and 2 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Be careful because lots of people are confused here. So is this a compound or simple time grouping? Simple, so 3/2. 12/8, I don't even consider it because we don't see a quaver here and it's not compound as we said. Exercise 7. We need to circle the correct time signature and describe it too. Let's have a look. Is it simple or compound? I think it is compound. Look at here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. What's the point in having 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2? It can't be, you see, they can't be merged like that. So we can't even consider it. Now, based on what we said in exercise 6 at the end, go and watch it if you haven't done it yet. Would it be 3 minims or 6 crotchets? Now, which one, do you remember which one is the compound time? This one, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So the answer is 6/4. It can't be 3/2 because the grouping is of a compound time. The description of this time signature is compound duple. Compound because the subdivisions are 3. Duple because we changed number twice. 1 and 2 and. 1 and 2 and. Next one. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, another compound time. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I don't even want to look at this, it's too complicated. I'm joking. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it is 6/16. It can be 3/8 for the same reason of this. 3/8 will be 1, 2 and 3. 3 quavers. Here is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Compound. So compound duple time. And remember what we said before, that when you see 6 is always duple. Compound duple. Always. When you see 9 is a compound triple. When you see 12 is compound quadruple. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm counting the quavers. 3/8. This is a simple triple time. Why simple? Because the subdivisions are 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Here, 1 and 2 and 3 and. But with the semiquavers, you can see it, visualize what I'm saying, because every subdivision has a semiquaver to be marked with. So 1 and 2 and 3 and. Last one. This is definitely a compound time. Look at here. When do we have 3 quavers standing on their own? And when do we have a duplet? When 2 quavers are not enough. So how many quavers in a bar? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 6/8. When you see 6 is a compound duple time. So compound duple time. I hope I'm not going too fast. But what I do here, I look everything from above and I see what catches my eyes. I don't necessarily need to start from the first bar, but here this is all clear. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Duplet sign, that rings a bell. A duplet sign is only in compound time. So this is the only compound time. This is simple. I hope this is clear and I hope that this makes sense. Exercise 8. We need to add the missing bar lines. First, let's observe the time signature is 4/8. It means 4 quavers. So every 4 quavers, bar line. This is an anacrusic start, incomplete. So 1, 2, 3, 4, bar line. 1, 2, 3, 4, bar line. Also, please note that we have 1, 2, 1, 2. So the grouping, it really tells you everything. Here, shall we do it without counting? 1 and 2, and exactly here. This is an amazing piece by Chopin, by the way. Amazing! Let's move on to the second one. 9/4 is a compound time. 9 crotchets. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Bar line. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Bar line. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Bar line. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Why do I check this? Always check, because it might be that I missed something beforehand and I really need to check. Sometimes I can start from the end. If it's not an anacrusic ending, I can start from the end and go backwards. That works the same. And see, for example, if they match. (12/16) is 12 semiquavers. For example, shall we start from the end here? I think it's easier. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So 4 times, yeah? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Sorted. You see? Also backwards. And I did count here, but I didn't count here anymore because I was looking at the grouping. Try to do the same. Do not spend too much time calculating everything. You don't need that. Flow like the music. Otherwise, how do you apply them? You're learning theory to be able to put it into practice when you play any instrument or when you sing. So if you don't do it musically when it's time, it's the two things, practice and theory, are going to remain separated, which is a shame. Theory was born to set rules and definite indications and to make things clearer, despite your feeling that it isn't that clear. But if you think musically, it is, trust me. So think musically and you'll be fine. Exercise 9, shall we? This exercise is about rests. And rests are the same as notes. And here we need to be the teacher of this imaginary student and say whether this student has been adding rests correctly or not. So, first of all, time signature, because if we don't observe this, we will never get through this. 6/4 is a compound time, and it means 6 crotchets grouped in 3. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we need to see 3 on a side and 3 on the other side. If we don't see this, the rests are incorrectly added. Maybe they added up correctly, but they don't add up the grouping. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, correct. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So although we might think that this should be written this way, the first two could be joined. So this is possible. But not the other way around. So the first two positions might be merged, but not the last one. So we can't have this. Okay, this is not possible. But 1, 2, and 3, yes. One quaver, crotchet, 2 crotchets, and 3 crotchets, yes. 1, 2, and 3, yes. They are all correct. Now, this, if you find in the answer book, I don't have it here, but if you find that this is incorrect, maybe they want to do things properly, but they could be merged, and I'm quite sure about it. However, if you find a cross here, yes, it could be. It could be, but if you go on Sibelius or Finale, you will see that they are merged together. The first three, no, sorry, the first two. Okay, next one. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think that is correct. 9/16. That means 9 semiquavers. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yes. 1, 2, and 3. This should be a semiquaver and then another semiquaver. So this should be written like that. They can't be merged because we can't merge 3 movements. Sorry, 2 movements. 1 and, 2 and, 3 and. So this is incorrect. 1 and, 2 and, 3 and. That is correct. 1 and, 2 and, 3 and this is correct because it's 2 and 3. So the second and third movement, so 1, 2 and 3, we see them more clearly. 3 halves mean 3 minims. So I don't understand here. So it's 1, 2 and 3. But in this case, if we do this, we merge the first and third, the first and second movement. So we don't see the 3 minims. Here, this way, 1, 2, and 3, we see them. So this is incorrect. We need to see 1, 2, and 3 minims. In this way, we don't really see it. And actually, as you could see, it was a bit confusing for me at the start. 1 minim, 2 minims, 3 minims. Correct. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's go from the end. 1 minim, another minim, then we have 1 crotchet, and then we have 1 double dotted quaver. Now, as I said, and if you didn't, go and watch the chapter dedicated to the double dot in chapter 1. To be quick, we need to pair the double dotted notes with the value that is next to the next one. So, not a semiquaver, but a demi-semiquaver. And here it is. So this is correct because it's 1, 2, and 3. And this is incorrect, as big as a house, because the whole bar rest is a simple semi-breve rest, and it's a whole bar rest no matter the time signature. So with any of them, we could have a semi-breve rest to indicate a whole bar of silence. So this is incorrect. 6/8 means 6 quavers grouped in 3 as a compound time. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This is incorrect for the same reason that I said here. You could merge 1 and 2, but you can't merge 2 and 3. So the correct version of this should be this: 1, 2, 3. Remember this. A duplet, 2 quavers in the space of 3, and 1, 2, and 3. Correct.
This is incorrect because this is not a duplet. Duplet means two things. Here there are three, so that's certainly incorrect. What was needed here was just a quaver. That was enough. Two quavers, two quavers. This is correct. This is 1, 2, 3, and this is 1, 2, 3, so that is correct. I feel that I'm going too fast, but probably because I've said lots of things before. If you haven't followed my thinking, please go back and watch the other exercises of this chapter. And if you need, because it says something about double dot and grouping, please go and watch the chapter 1 of this grade 4, Discover Music Theory grade 4, because I've said lots of things there. In the meantime, I move on to the last exercise of this chapter, exercise 10. We need to tick one box where we see the bar correctly grouped. In 4/8, we need to see 4 quavers. 1, 2 on a side, the other 2 on a side. So look from above and see, if you can see like me, the bar where we see exactly the middle of the bar, like this, where the two halves are squared, same high. This, 1, 2, 1, 2. Here, this bar is outweight the other one. And here we don't even have an even half. And here it's grouped in 3. I see 3 groups of things, and this is not even possible because we have an even number. So this is the answer. 4 quavers, 2 plus 2. 6/4 compound time. 3 plus 3 crotchets. So where do we see, again here, the half of the bar where we see a clear separation. Here we see 3 groups of things. Here I see 4 groups of things, which just doesn't make any sense because this is a compound time, so 3 plus 3. And I think that the answer is this. Let's double check. 1, 2 and 3 crotchets. 1, 2 and 3 crotchets. Perfect. Here this is incorrect because we have 1 minim, 1 minim and 1 minim. This is in 3 halves. This is written in 3 halves. And here we have 1 crotchet, then 1, 2, 1 minim, 1 crotchet, 1 minim. This could have been, but these two should be together. What would be the reason for not beaming all the quavers together to form a dotted minim? What's the reason? Look at this, and this is very confusing if you need to think. But here you can see da, 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 da. So it's much more clear. 2 halves means 2 minims or 4 crotchets. 2 and 2, or 1 minim and 1 minim. Let's see what catches our eyes. Why the minim is divided into tight crotchets. This doesn't make any sense. So let's exclude this one. Here we have 1 quaver. So this is a simple time, right? And we have 1 dotted quaver, which would make sense in a compound time, but not here. Because in simple time, the dotted values should be paired up with the next value, so the semiquaver. And this is not the case here, but here, this is correct. 1, 2 crotchets, and the other 2 crotchets. So 1 minim, 1 minim. Next one, 9 semiquavers grouped in 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we would need to see 3 groups of things. Where do we see them? Everywhere. Okay, if I see the grouping, it's everywhere. But something is incorrect. For example, here, look, where are the 2? Where is the third item? We have 1 semiquaver, 1 semiquaver. Where's the other one? So goodbye to the first example. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This is correct. Let's see why this is incorrect. This is exactly the same, but look here. Why didn't they not merge this? This is always possible. So we don't need this. This is very confusing. The tie occurs when we need to join two sounds across the counting or across the bars. So for example, this would be the case, okay? You can't have a quaver here. You can't. So in this case, there will be a tie, but within the same counting, you can merge the values. So this is the correct answer. 9/8 is 9 quavers grouped in 3. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's see, we have 3 things pretty much everywhere. Here we have 4, so this is incorrect for sure. Here we have a duplet that is not grouped. Why? I don't think this is ever possible. So I think the right answer is this. 1, 2, 3, 2 quavers in the space of 3, and 1, 2, 3. So this is the correct answer. And this is sorted. I hope that this is clear. As you can see, I go straight to the point, and don't feel that because I'm the teacher, so I go straight to the point. I really did this also when I was a student. To do things easier and quicker, I had to find a way. So I really look things from above and see if there is anything that can help me, at least to exclude what is definitely incorrect, and then to grab on something that I know for sure and then find the correct answer. We don't have many options here, so you don't have to go really far in this thinking. But it is important to do it in this way because, again, it develops your musicianship and your musical skills. And this is why you learn in theory 4, not because your teacher told you or because you need grade 5 theory to do grade 6 of your instrument. Okay? Do it for you, not for the title. The challenge, which is the last thing in this chapter 2 of Discovering Music Theory, grade 4. We need to rewrite in the new time signature, so half the value. They've started everything halved, so the 2 quavers become a semiquaver. Becomes 2 semiquavers, so 1, 2, and then these 2 becomes a demi-semiquaver. There you go. A crotted becomes a quaver, and the semiquaver a quaver becomes a semiquaver. And in this case, so let me do that again. These can be beamed together because there is one flag, there is a mutual. So let's write it again. We have 1 quaver, and 1 is a semiquaver. A dotted minim becomes a dotted crotted, and that will do. Definitely we need 1 beam. These 2 quavers become semiquavers, and these ones are 2 semiquavers that become a demi-semiquaver. A dotted crotted becomes a dotted quaver, and the dotted crotted rest becomes a dotted quaver rest. Sorted. I hope this was useful. Again, if you didn't understand something, or if I went too far or too quick, watch chapter 1, even if you've done it already, and even if your teacher had a look through your work. I always explain as I answer the questions, so go and watch it, and if you don't understand something, leave me a comment and I will help you further. Thank you very much. Bye bye. Thank you for watching, sharing and liking my videos. Remember, tell your friends about it. If it was useful for you, it will be useful for other people too. Now, if you want to watch other tutorials on Discovering Music Theory Grade 4, click here now and enjoy learning.
In the meantime, I'd like to thank all those who have messaged or emailed me and left a comment here. I'm glad that my videos were useful for you and let you feel more confident and strong when taking your exams. I'm here for this. Especially the ones who told me that thanks to my videos they got a distinction at their music theory exam, and this makes me very happy. Thank you so much. The merit is all yours, but thank you for letting me know. And of course, please do keep in touch. I love it. Thank you. Happy music. Bye.